the thing about this place that makes it special is the water that's here, the natural water. And there's actually some really strong sources of water here that just don't seem to quit, even on these drier years. It's blessed with just a lot of natural resources, you know. And you know, Mother Nature just gives you quite a bit here to work with. So if you don't try to get more than that off the place, you know, it's really a kind of a neat place to work with. Sarah really loved the ranch, I guess. I think that's fair to say. Sarah was a really good person and tried to treat people, you know, really tried to treat people right. And when she'd come out here, she was always out around. She just loved to go out there and walk with her dogs and just look at everything. But especially interested in the grass of the plants, and she was always observant of the wildlife. You know, she always wanted to see them out there, you know, the deer, and she sort of had I think she really liked the birds, you know. And her, I think one of her main things was to take care of the natural environment of the ranch, you know, the health of the range, the grasses, and as well as trees, and anything to do with the natural environment. That's about the history of the people that have owned it, you know, really not that many. I mean, it basically was Fergus, and then the Fergus son-in-law, I'm pretty sure, and then the Taylor family have owned it for, somebody in the family has owned it for the last 70 years or so. So the buildings that are here, those are some old buildings, and this old shed down in the creek, I think that's an old sheep shed. You know, this used, back when Romanstead's had it and Fergus's, it was sheep, a lot of sheep here. This old barn over here, I know is over 100 years old because we put siding on that barn. And when we took the old boards off, you know, they'd wrapped up a bunch of old newspapers and some old catalogs and stuff and put them in oilcloth and stuck them in there when they were building that. They were dated back to the I'm going to say 70 or so, 80s. Maybe 80s. There's a lot of history here, really, you know, and I mean, these old buildings like that old barn, yeah, they could really tell you some stories. since I've been here, the elk population in this area has gotten a lot bigger. I think everybody knows that. And even right here, I've been able to see that. There's just lots of elk, and at times there's been lots of bulls, and yeah, there's been some nice ones. So yeah, it's got trophy bulls, you know. I'm going to say 360 to 380 range. 360 to 380. I'm sure every year there's probably a couple of them on this place in the neighborhood, you know. Nice population of whitetails here. Most of them every year you'll see some really nice ones that are, you know, really, I guess you'd say shootable type, and people would mount them. Same with mule deer, although it's never changed much since I've been here. There's always been a nice population of mule deer, and even some antelope. We have a few antelope in here in the summer. The native birds, the sharp-tails are here. Quite a few of them right now, and then there's always been some pheasants here. Not a huge population of pheasants, but they're scattered around. A few Hungarian partridges, you'll see them, and good population of bears in the Judiths here, and mountain lions, there's a few of them around, and a little bit of everything. But yeah, it's a great for hunting. I mean, I've enjoyed it. I do some myself, and yeah, it's a great place for me.